So, this Patreon request comes from the Mount Vernon kid. Chris, thank you once again. This is was the last Patreon request he gave me all the way back in, I think, December, and I just kind of I thought I had done them all, but now I got them all here. Gang's all here. We're all caught up. Yeah. Anyway, as always, if you guys like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the 3rd tier, and yeah, that'll allow you access to do videos here on Patreon. I mean, here on YouTube, excuse me. But yeah, so other than that, let's get started with the video. So the topic of the video is favorite creature features. Now, I guess the definition of creature features is kind of loose, don't you think? Like, it is kind of a loose adaptation for it, because the thing of it is that, you know, creature features are usually how do I put this? Creature features are usually something along the lines of monsters. Like, they're very much like a monster. It's monster movies. That's the word I was trying to get out. Sorry, I'm dealing with a lot. So sorry, and I'm tired. Anyway, so. That's the kind of runs in the problem, because the creature feature does a kaiju movie count as a creature feature? Does vampire movies count as creature features? The term for creature feature for me has always been a human size to large monster, not like kaiju size, but big, like something like a big monster, and not kaiju sized. That's tokusatsu, that's kaiju to me. And it's not and the monster specifically isn't really classified as a monster we know, like a Wendigo, a vampire, a werewolf. It's like its own unique creature. That's what to me has always been the classification for creature feature, has been that's always been my classification for creature feature, has been that, like, with it's a monster of undetermined origin, and it's not really under any classification. That to me has been what a creature feature is for the most part. So yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about some of my favorite creature features. Starting off with, I think, the granddaddy. When you think creature feature, you think this movie. And that's, of course, well, Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, what more can I say about Creature from the Black Lagoon? It's a classic Universal monster. It was the last Universal monster, and I actually got to meet the actor and get an autograph from Raquel Browning, the last of the Universal monsters, shortly before his passing. It's arguably one of my if not my most prized possession in my collection, his autograph. So, yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon, I mean, what more can I say about it? It's a fantastic movie, and I mean, what more can I say? I will say, since I'm talking about it, the Skybound, which is on a roll now with Transformers and G.I. Joe books, they have announced that they've been doing a bunch of, as you know, James Tynion's doing a Dracula book, but now the next Universal monster will be the Creature from the Black Lagoon from Ram V. And it will be a sequel to the original movie called Creature from the Black Lagoon Returns, or is it Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives? Either way, really cool that that's the next monster to be on the list, and hopefully the other ones will get other comics soon. Anyway, so Creature from the Black Lagoon, great movie. Let's move on. I could go on and on about like the 50s movie, like the 50s, radiation boom in general. Like them is a great creature feature. It's one of my favorite 50s movies. It actually, like, it is, like, in the same year as Gojira it came out in 1954. Same year as also Creature from the Black Lagoon. You know, kind of funny how 1954 had some serious bangers when it came to, you know, monster movies in general. So Them is a really great movie. If you don't know what that is, Them is a movie about giant radioactive ants. It actually is a lot... it plays it straight. Like, that's the cool thing about it, is that it's a movie that, like, plays itself straight for the... like, it really does play itself straight for most of the movie. And it's a really cool... it's a really, like, great B-movie creature feature. Next up, Tarantula. Tarantula is another great one. I've talked about that before, so I won't go too much into detail. Let's talk about some modern creature features. And it's really hard to say Jaws is a creature feature, because it's like an animal attack movie. And like I said, most creature features, what qualifies for a creature feature, to me, is a monster of undetermined origin, not an animal. I consider those like animal attack movies for the most part. But Jaws, great movie, even though I don't call it a creature feature movie, I call it an animal attack movie. I will say, if we want to go by creature feature movies, Pumpkinhead I don't call a creature feature because it's more of a demon movie, but I guess you could determine Pumpkinhead as a creature feature, honestly. Although I will say, Predator, not a creature feature in my opinion. That's an alien. That's an extraterrestrial movie. The Relic for me is a creature feature. The Relic from 1990. Looking back, that movie is not perfect. I will be the first one to say that is not a perfect movie, but I do really like it. I saw it at a young age and thought it was a really cool idea, and I didn't learn until later that it was based off a book from Michael Crichton, you know, the author of the original Jurassic Park book. As for, I would say, others, the 90s were just full of creature feature movies. Like, you had, man, you had a lot. You had a lot of, like, fun monster movies. And I would say, I'm trying to think of, like, there's a few others in my... Oh, another creature feature movie I consider, The Descent. The Descent is a great horror movie. It's from Neil Marshall, who had done, like, Dog Soldiers. Of course, he did that god-awful Hellboy movie, but we won't hold that to him. It's a really fun... It's a really great claustrophobic horror movie, and it's very enjoyable, in my opinion. As for others... Damn. Like, the thing of it is like, there's so many, it's really hard to pin them down, but those are the ones that really, like, have always, like, stuck out to me for the most part. But yeah. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what are some of your favorite creature features? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, I'd like to thank Chris for sending me this Patreon request. Sorry it took a while to get to this one, man. But yeah, like I said, if you guys would like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link below. Head on over to my Patreon, where you guys can start sending me requests for videos to do here on YouTube. But other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.